Good morning, you guys. Look who has joined me. Sexy at any age, author of a book called Being Sexy.
No, 60.
I'm sorry, 60, Sex and Tango. That's what it's called.
Confessions of a Beatnik Boomer.
There it is, right there. 60. All I see is sex and 60. That's awesome. And tango. So I'm sure they're related. Joan Moran is joining us this morning. And Joan, we're hanging out with a bunch of fun people from all over the world this morning. We've got Hector, who is actually here he's in Orange County. Clarissa is in New York City. We've got Hector, who's here in the Inland Empire.
Good morning.
John, also in Riverside. Matt is in Reno this morning. Where are you, Matt? There you are. And you've got Nick, who's in Dallas, Texas. And hello, YouTubers. Thanks for joining us. If you have a question for Joan, go ahead and leave it on the comments box below or tag anyone in the Hangout, and I will get it to her. Okay? So I just want to say that I just witnessed Joan, not once, but twice, do a headstand on command like this with complete control and balance. What the heck? Like, do you work out every day? Do you do yoga? How are you able to do that?
Well, it's I teach yoga.
Oh,
so that's
so you're a teacher.
I teach yoga and meditation at UCLA.
By the way, not to
Yes.
interrupt you, they're going to take that camera shot here in just 1 second. So forgive me if I interrupt or start talking somewhere else.
Yeah.
But and you'll see what happens. Okay, so you do teach yoga at UCLA.
Yes, and what yoga? I mean, I'm not out here to proselytize about yoga, although I could.
Yes.
But it's
My husband tells me every day, trust me, he's like, you should do yoga.
It's mind-body connection. So the way that I could do those headstands was because my body and my mind were connected, and I had control over my body because I have control over the mind as it connects to the body. It's serendipitous.
Amazing, amazing. And I want to get into the subject of sex at 60. And hang on for 1 second. I know that they're going to talk to me in just 1 second, so I don't want to start a new thought. Speaking of incredible, Joan Moran, 2 headstands, not one, just a moment ago. We're going to talk about 60 and sex here in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/myfoxla. Come join us, you guys, and we can chit-chat. Okay, all right, so we got that in. Yay!
Yay!
Okay, so we're talking about sex at 60 and libido, and you had said, you've got to keep tabs on where your libido is and what it's doing.
Yeah, it's a
Right?
serious subject.
It's a serious thing.
It's
yeah.
a very serious subject. Look, we all want to maintain our sexiness. I mean, who doesn't? Men too. I'm talking about men as well as women.
Well, I was surprised to hear that. I think men's libido goes out earlier than women.
Yes, it
right?
does. We have a very unbalanced male-female, relationship
it's
to
weird.
sex after 50, actually. The secret M word, the menopause word, we get through menopause and women think they're finished. Women are just starting.
Hello.
Women are just starting.
Hello.
Men get to 55 and the testosterone starts to decrease. They have to be careful. They have to be vigilant about keeping their libido up. And of course, there are products on the market today that
They
really
have
help
Viagra
that.
things.
And they have Cialis and they have Viagra. And there's also the issue of prostate cancer sometimes and what happens after that. But if you're aware, if you want to talk about it, if you want to have a conversation about sex with the person that you're with, your partner, have it. I believe in conversation and working things out. And it's why I talk about it in my book. Yes, there is a whole section on sex, and I actually address that issue.
There's a little section on sex. If you guys have a question, just get my attention, and I will go to you. So obviously, exercise and being fit is one of the key things, right?
Absolutely. When men keep going to the gym, when they're later on in their life, when they keep running, when they walk, when they do a martial arts even and continue that, they're going to be in great shape for the rest of their life, and they're going to be sexy, sexy, sexy.
I love my husband. He does yoga every day. Matt, yes, go ahead.
Well, first off, I don't recognize that S word you keep using. Maybe it's been a while since I've heard it.
It's been a while, Matt. Okay,
but second, I was just wondering if when you were younger, if you were coordinated, because just what we saw on the TV, I could have never done that ever in my life.
You've always
Matt,
been very athletic. Yeah.
I studied ballet for a long, long
There-
time.
Oh,
Body.
Yeah.
wow.
But I kept it up when I stopped ballet. You know,
Mhm.
I was athletic, not super athletic. I could ski, I could water ski. Are those
Mhm.
being athletic? I guess I don't know. But I always went to the gym.
Mhm.
In the 70s, I was doing aerobics.
Mhm.
You know, Jane
Jane
Fonda.
Fonda
Oh,
with the
right down on
leotards and the
Robertson. Yeah, the whole headband thing. And I kept going, and about a little less than 20 years ago, picked up yoga, and that became my drug of choice.
You know, it's interesting because when I was younger, like the last thing I thought about were my parents or my grandparents, you know, getting busy. But you do. I mean, it's important to keep that sex life into your 80s and not. I mean, till you're dead.
Let's hope.
Like, really, right?
Let's hope. But again, here's what happens when you get older. I mean, people don't. Although I must say that the young girls that I talk to, they're very interested in how to keep that sexiness alive. And they look at me at 7 and they go, "What? How do you do that? How do you have dates on New
Right.
Year's Eve?"
Yes.
Yay! But the thing is that it's a package. It's about loving yourself. It's about saying, you know, mental, physical, spiritual. Keep yourself educated. Read books. Listen to the news. Know what's going on. Be culturally aware. Nobody likes anybody that isn't hip and cool to everything.
Exactly. Clarissa, yes, go ahead.
Joan, thank you so much. You are truly an inspiration to all of us, really. Like, so, I have one question, right? I mean, you're talking about women going through menopause and how it changes for us, but, and you were also very active when you were younger. What about women that have not had the training like you had of ballet and yoga, and, we want to be, sexy in our 60s, 70s, 80s? Is it too late for us to start that kind of regimen? Is there such a thing?
No,
it's never too late.
let me say that I took up yoga and tango dancing at about 52 or 53. And as I was learning tango,
Wow.
I was going through hot flashes. And I'd say to the guy that I was practicing with, "Hold on, I got one coming along."
Oh my
And
gosh.
I would laugh and it would pass. And with yoga, of course, it really helped with the hot flashes and helped with the night sweats. And by the time I got on the other side, Gail Sheehy has this wonderful book that everybody should read called Passages. She said, and I'll never forget this, once you pass menopause, you get smarter, not dumber. Because in menopause, you can't remember a darn thing. You get to the other side, and all of a sudden, for a woman, life opens up. Take up ballroom, take up salsa. I just had a friend of mine just took up ballroom, and she's in her 60s. So it doesn't matter if you have a talent or not a talent. Who knows if you even have it? The thing is, it's the joy. It's the unmitigated joy of getting out there and doing something that you've always wanted to do.
And it's interesting that you say that because I feel like when you do these things, like take up ballroom, take up yoga, take up an activity that makes you feel passionate and you feel sexier as a result, that is so much sexier to your partner. When your partner sees you being so passionate about something else, and that is sexy. I mean, that is an aphrodisiac.
The best thing I ever did, don't mean to be a self-promoter, but when I wrote this book, I just turned 64.
Oh, wow.
And I went, what are the 60s about? Dude, I don't even know why I'm 64. Why am I 64? So I sat down and wrote out my thoughts, and my thoughts went into 3 sections. I'm 60. I'm in my 60s. Sex is still an important part of my life. I went on internet dating. I was hilarious. I've got
Wow, really?
Yeah. Listen, internet dating is the rage. It is the way to go today.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Date and not be on the internet.
And I was older than everybody.
Awesome.
I went, yeah, I'm this, yeah, I'm that. Well, you're like 60 what? And it would be like, and that would be the start of the conversation, whether it went anywhere or not. It didn't really matter. It was just like fun meeting people. And then, in my just recently in the last couple of years, I decided to be a keynote speaker and talk about health and wellness and fitness and creative decision making and work-life balance. So I just picked up another thing which keeps me passionate, keeps me getting up every day and loving life.
So the guys have, things like Viagra and all that kind of stuff, but do women have something that's equally,
Every
for
woman, it's
them,
different
or
for
like
every
how
woman.
yeah.
I cannot promote one product over another.
Sure.
I have my favorite.
Yes.
But there's there's talk of hormone replacement therapy. So you consult your doctor.
Okay.
You talk about the various products, just like men consult their doctors and talk about various products.
So there are things that
there are things you can do.
Help.
Some women don't. They choose not to.
Okay.
But intimacy comes in a variety of packages. It's not just one thing. It's not just that sexual act. It's so many things. And when you get into your later years in life, you know what? You find and create so many wonderful things that help stimulate your libido and help intimacy come alive for you in your later years.
Well, listen, you guys, this book, Find Your Libido and Hang On to It. It's 60 Sex and Tango. I love it. It's from Joan Moran. Check it out. It might make a great stocking stuffer if you haven't, you might want to nudge someone.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, it's on Amazon.
Yes.
It's
yes.
easy.
Joan, thanks for joining us
Thank
this
you.
morning.